I'm going to tell you about 3 families. You don't have to remember their names or anything like that, but I want to introduce them to you before we start. This is the Smith family. The father, Frank, is a carpenter. His wife, Angela, is a lawyer. They have a teenage daughter, Lisa, and a son named Nick, and a dog. These older people are the Caras. They are Angela Smith's parents. Mr. Cara's name is Paul, and his wife's name is Mary. They are Lisa and Nick's grandparents. This is the Perry family. The mother, Jenny, is a teacher. Her husband, Charles, is a doctor. They have a teenage daughter named Shauna and a son named Billy. Alright, now you'll hear a series of stories about these people. We constructed these stories in a way to help you communicate certain messages. So here we go with the first set of stories. Nick's school bus arrives in 15 minutes, and Nick is still asleep. So his mother tells him, "Wake up!" What does his mother say?
Wake up.
Nick's school bus arrives in 15 minutes, and he is still asleep. So what does his mother tell him to do?
Wake up.
Good. Lisa is training the Smith's dog to stop jumping on people. So she points to the floor and says, "Sit." What does Lisa say to the dog?
Sit.
Lisa is training their dog to stop jumping on people. So what does she tell him to do?
Sit.
A blimp is flying overhead. Frank says to his son, "Look up." What does Frank say to his son?
Look up.
Frank wants his son to see the blimp that's flying overhead. So what does he tell him to do?
Look.
Good. The fence is too low for the kids to crawl under, so Mr. Smith tells them to climb over. What does he tell them to do?
Climb over.
And the fence is too low for the kids to crawl under, so what does Mr. Smith tell them to do?
Climb.
Good. The Perrys are trying to stop a cab, so Ginny says to Charles, "Wave." What does Ginny tell Charles to do?
Cab.
Mary is feeling dizzy, so Paul says to her, "Lie down." What does Paul say to her?
Lie down.
Mary is feeling dizzy, so what does Paul tell her to do?
Lie down.
This is an example of sentence type 2s. Billy wants to go play before he finishes his supper, so his mother says, "Drink your milk." What does his mother say?
Drink milk.
Billy wants to go play before he finishes his supper, so what does his mother tell him to do?
Milk.
Frank is reading the paper, and the telephone is ringing and ringing. So he says to his daughter, "Answer the phone." What does Frank say to his daughter?
Answer phone.
Frank is reading the paper, and the telephone is ringing and ringing. So what does he say to his daughter?
Answer the phone.
The Perrys are leaving the house for the day, so Ginny says to Charles, Lock the door. What does Ginny say to Charles?
Lock door. Lock the door.
Great. The Perrys are leaving the house for the day. So what does Ginny tell Charles to do?
Lock the door.
Great.